Hello there! I'm Headless, your local headless VTuber who uses they/them pronouns. Introductions aside, I want to talk about something that I didn't ever expect to happen. A bunch of weapons and martial arts content creators who keep getting told that they should make a D&D party and have a campaign just made a D&D party and are having a campaign. They also invited a DM who loves lists and hates Nathan. I've been paying attention as much as I can since the crowdfunding went live and wanted to give my own opinions on the first episode. And for those who showed up for it, I'm sorry. Other than this statement and one other down the line, I will not be directly addressing the video that we're all upset about because I think it's been fully put to rest. When Crispy roasts you within 24 hours, you're done. Every once in a while, I may stop to talk notes on the art process you'll be seeing while I chat. Speaking of, let's chat a bit about the art you're gonna see. I'm new to pixel art, and my approach to it is always about fun, so this isn't gonna be a masterclass. The art I will be using for reference is the official character art for the campaign done by Marvin Blattert. I hope eventually to do each of the characters, plus whoever my favorite NPC winds up being in honor of Tater. I just realized there is one more thing that I should address. There are two Davids, and I know the remedy for confusion is to call the pointy shooty one Blumenek and the stabby slashy one David. But I will be flipping the script on that because A, I want to, B, you can't stop me, and C, I have a stupid joke and I will tell it. I'll be calling the pointy shooty one David, and the stabby slashy one Duo. Because you cannot convince me this man didn't base his look off an anime character. Let's kick off the art and get into my thoughts. Who will I be turning into tiny squares first? It'll be my favorite character design by far. It's Megan. You can't put a cool witchy character design in front of me and not expect me to pick it as number one. You just can't. I actually have a doll base that I designed a long time ago that I'll be modding. The bikini on the base is because I'm not great at starting outlines, so the bikini actually gives me a good jumping off point for anatomy, especially when certain body parts are overlapping. Now, obviously there's not much to go off of. It's episode 1, and you should really wait for a few episodes before you share your opinion on a new series. But first, I'll give you a general idea about what I've liked so far, and afterwards, I'll tell you the points that maybe didn't vibe with me quite as much. My first 3 really have less to do with the episode, and more to do with the lead-up, and the actions surrounding certain events. The transparency around this project has been appreciated. I have never once wondered when something would happen or how money was spent because those running the project would tell us the minute they could. I have yet to fund a crowdfunding campaign that was this diligent about making sure their audience knew where their money went and why. The second of the 3 is how professional this group has been, not just handling the fuck yous Mother Nature has thrown at them, but also when dealing with drama. I won't call it controversy, it was asinine drama. The way the problem was addressed, how feelings were expressed but not the sole subject of the response video told me that those running this show were level-headed as hell. If that were me, I'd have reposted the video as a reaction and then played yakety sax the whole time while only using a laugh track button for my entire commentary. Maturity is not in my wheelhouse, but it's definitely in theirs. Now, this compliment hits me a little hard because it should be normal to pay your artists their dues. That being said, that's not normal, and given the price tags, MinMaxed clearly paid their artists well. From the set to the character art to the logo, dues were paid. The production team, which as far as I know was mainly the work of 2 people, you haven't gotten enough roses for your hard work. Megan, Duo, you've worked so hard and it shows. My hat is off to you. Now to comments on the actual episode. I mentioned it before, but the set? Yes, the art in general is phenomenal, but I think the set deserves special attention. I'm used to film spaces for actual plays to only have 3 walls and all exits being painted on. So when Duo got up and actually left through the door, I may have said out loud, The door fucking works? I also noted the swords on the wall. I'm not saying I would die of pure happiness if 2 got yanked off the wall and a sword fight started, but I am saying I need it like I need breath in my lungs. Please take the swords off the wall and fight with them next season if you didn't do it for this one. Okay, thanks. We're gonna swap over to talking about the art for a second because I could not tell if these were pants or skin because it is the same color as the skin to me, so I just kind of left it blank. And if I need to fill it in later, it's not gonna be a huge deal to do so. I also want to thank anyone responsible for the episode length. Good God, more actual plays that are 2 hours or less an episode, please and fucking thanks. Obviously, it's too early to truly tell, but I really like how comfortable everyone is with each other. The riffing was great, the teasing was natural and well received. I didn't feel like anyone talked over each other. Good chemistry can be hard to find, and it looks like it found this group. And now the cons. These are things that I either want to see changes on in the future, or simply have personal beef with that aren't really hopes, they're just an opinion of some random person on the internet. And you shouldn't care too much about my opinion, I literally do not have a brain. This is the part in the original script where I would start talking about how I wanted more close-ups and close-up side-by-sides, but we've already seen the teaser for the next episode. It's gonna happen. However, I feel like I'm not the only one who loves seeing the reaction of other cast members. So my hope is that there's a balance between when we are intimately close to the conversation and when we get to see that everyone else in the cast is having just as good a time watching the scene as we are. The next one can't just be a me thing. I know other people want this because we get it with most other actual plays. Where are the stat cards? Even if we get a text-only version, I know people are going to want the numbers, because we want to play with the cast. Hell, I'll probably build stat cards for myself to look at during episodes if the main 8 numbers get put out for each character. This next point is, in my opinion, a little more serious. I want links directly to the artists, preferably in the description box listed with the other credits. Unfortunately, the worse AI gets, the worse the internet gets, and the harder it is to ensure that the artist profile that you're looking at isn't a scammer. I have to pause the video. I just looked, and either it wasn't there before, or it's always been there and I missed it, and I am 75% sure that I just missed it because, like I said before, I don't have a brain. All of the links to the people that min-maxed has worked with are up on their website. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, definitely go check out their website and definitely go check out the people that they worked with. They clearly did an incredible job. All right, back to the video. In case there's confusion, I'm talking about this not because I think this has been done maliciously, but because I know that it's a thing that can be easily missed when the to-do list is longer than Bensai's range. I've saved the most personal opinion for last. It isn't a critique, it's a preference. I'm going to interrupt you from staring at this art for a second so I can ask you a question. I've put all 6 character references on the screen. One of these groups I have an opinion about, and to clarify, it's not a gripe with the art, and it's probably not a gripe with the artist. It's likely a gripe with the 3 players, who I assume got the last say on the design. Can you tell which group I have an opinion about? Time's up. On this side, we have 3 characters that look like high fantasy versions of their players. And on the other side, we have 3 dudes whose Ren Fair costumes I have seen 1,000 times, wearing the same Ren Fair costumes I've seen 1,000 times. While I understand that a Ren Fair version of yourself is still technically a fantasy version of you, it's the hope that I would see something different that made them less shiny than the other characters. With the other 3 designs, these 2, Bensai and David specifically, I could see these 2 having these outfits in their closet. Have I seen them before? No. Have I seen very close looks to them? Yeah, but they're still different. And if Megan actually owns this outfit, especially the hat, then Megan, please drop the details because I need to look like this every day, except all black. Anyways, the only one who gets away with this crime, I say with quotation marks, is Clark. If someone told me, hey, we need you to give us a reference for some really cool D&D art, and I had that outfit, I would put that on, snap a single photo, and send it while muttering under my breath, fuck yeah, I want cool art of this. If you're gonna pay for that outfit, you're gonna want cool art of it. But Jacques, Duo, I feel like you could have given more. Although with Jack I'm a little worried because I did look back in his videos quite a ways and the look seems like it has never changed. And before you say, but it's different, all that happened was the purple went from the pants to the vest. That's not a change, that's a palette swap for a fighting game. But Duo Maxwell, you're not getting out of this. You've had videos showing us an entire closet's worth of D&D appropriate clothing. So long as all of those articles of clothing were yours, it would have taken a spare second to grab one extra item and pop it on for a reference photo. When you dress up, you have impeccable style, and I want to see more of it. Again, this is a personal gripe, and I didn't need as many notes as I had, but I wanted to complain on the internet, so I'm gonna. Honestly, not a lot to complain about. I love the episode overall, and for a group of people whose profession is not actual plays, they knocked it out of the park. And we know there's improvements coming already. I really hope I get time to animate this in the future. That's one of my favorite parts of pixel art. I do take a lot of time to draw because I'm just working with a mouse. I just don't have the extra funds to get a tablet. So despite my best efforts, churning out all 7 will take some time. And now that I think about it, I really hope there's at least 7 episodes, otherwise I'm a little screwed for time. Anyways, this first one has been fun. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to check out MinMaxed over on their channel. Bye!